The Center for Democracy and Human Rights in Saudi Arabia is a research institution. It promotes democracy in Saudi Arabia, promotes human rights, women's rights, religious freedom, freedom of the press. It's a non-sectarian organization, and it doesn't have any specific agenda in terms of power or anything other than promoting what the Saudi people actually are asking for, and that is they want liberty, they want accountability, transparency. Women are calling for their rights, minorities are calling for their religious freedom, and expatriates, there are about 10 million people there, are asking for justice under the Saudi system. So this is what CDHR was established to do. The center works in Washington, D.C. because there is no civil society allowed in Saudi Arabia. It is a very highly censorship society and country. And Washington is a free city, but also the United States has had a very, very long and deep relationship with the Saudi government for the last 80 years. So being here in Washington is important in that we do discuss issues with the American officials, with the American media, the American public, because they do have influence in Saudi Arabia, regardless what the Saudi and the media say. The United States, has been responsible for the protection of the Saudi ruling family since the 1940s. Being here is the best, second best to being in Saudi Arabia. So even if there is impact of an organization like this in Saudi Arabia, and I believe there is, it would not be, there is no way you can actually measure your successes or influence in a country like Saudi Arabia. But some of our successes, we have actually written a very comprehensive policy statements for the United States officials and others to discuss with the Saudis when we meet them in terms of promoting democratic reforms in Saudi Arabia, which is inevitable. It will happen because the Saudi people want it, especially the young generation. We have written a very comprehensive policy statement since we established CDHR. We do engage many Saudis in discussions, issues that we can't raise ourselves because we live in a free country, and the Saudis, most Saudis cannot raise inside the country, but we do raise some questions that are discussed on internet, social media, and other forms of communication. The center wants to see changes that are realistic. The center wants to see what the Saudi people are asking for, and it is the points I have mentioned earlier. They want to participate in the decision-making processes. They want accountability. They want to know how their monies are spent. They want transparency. They want women's rights. They want respect for basic human rights. They want to have religious freedom where people could worship or not worship as they wish instead of being forced, physically forced to pray and fast. So these are the issues we are promoting, we are working on. We do research and analysis of these issues and transmit them to everywhere in the world. We have a list of about 6,000 subscribers to our newsletter, but we also put information in our social media such as Facebook and Twitter and other social media means that are changing the world actually, not just in Saudi Arabia but around the world. So that's what we promote. We promote transformation of the Saudi institutions to accommodate the Saudi people's needs in the 21st century.